Hi, thanks for watching. I'm saying that now because I don't know if I said thanks at the end of this video. I had to go back and reshoot one segment because cockatoos interrupted me. And I just kept filming thinking that, no, they'll be all right. But no, they were much louder than any airplane or motorbike or car that I've experienced. So I had to go back and refilm the end. So there are actually two beginnings to this video. It does make an awful lot of sense, but I think I explain it later on what happened. All right, I found this burnt car here, and it's Japanese, but I don't know. Oh, I don't know what kind of Japanese car this is. I've got a few clues. It looks to be around, I guess, 1980. And I think the wheels just would have been like that, just pressed steel rims, and probably had a chrome trim ring around them. I'm trying to just pick up on anything that's going to tell me what this one was. I can't tell if it was a coupe or not. It kind of reminds me of something sporty. Well, it was air conditioned, but that doesn't help us. There's the brake master, and it's got PBR. Now, I think that's patent brake replacements. So I don't know if that was supplied new with the car or not. But anything to tell me is not evident at the moment. This would have been burnt a long time ago. What have we got? What have we got? I think the spare wheel is lying where it fell. And I just want to see if there's anything underneath there. No, it's just the same steel pressed rim. I thought it might have had a center sitting on there, but I don't know. So it was like a trailing arm suspension, so it's a little bit more modern. It wasn't a leaf sprung car. But I have one thing that is a little bit confusing. If such a car has this style of wheels, then why does it have this? Now, I've seen this before, but I can't picture it. I just don't get which car this is from. That hubcap or wheel trim. I've seen it before. I just wondered, why would it have these on when it had the more sporty style kind of wheels? I might take that off and at least Google Lens it and see if that will show up with anything, but I just can't. I've seen this before. I've seen this hubcap before. Anyway, I'll just stop for a second. I'll get that hubcap off. You can have a look up in the sky. I'll see if I can get this off with my hands. Now I know that hubcap. I've seen it before. I can't place it though. And I still don't know if that's from this car, but there's something to go on. Is that a manual steering box? No, I don't know. I think it is. Just a symbol, you know, like a Mitsubishi or that Toyota symbol that's common. It would be pretty handy right about now. And I think this is the bumper. Like, not like a rubber bumper, but I don't think it's like the inside of a rubber bumper. I think it is an old yeah, we got that. Maybe it had some of those rubber pieces put on. Not put on, but yeah. There was that phase where chrome bumpers went on to having rubber edges and rubber bumper pieces on their little protective pieces. So yeah, that's where the number plate would have been. So the number plate was on the bumper. That does help to narrow things down. But I'm thinking Escort. I'm thinking yeah, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Datsun, Sunny. I don't know. Stanza. I don't know if they were. Anyway, that's part of the fun, if you can call it that. Okay, now, so this is the first one. I've got 2 more to go. Hopefully continuity has been shot and killed in this video. Not that I really had continuity before anyhow. So at least have enough to show, and I'll keep moving. Okay, I found a Falcon XP. I don't know if it's a ute or a wagon yet. The tailgate is in there, and I'll check to see if there's any window mechanism or anything in there to help me with that one. This has been down the creek in this creek bed for a long time. What can we see? I guess that's a manual. It had, the brakes weren't boosted, so that's your brake master. That's a bit hard to tell if there's anything else there. Oh, that looks like a accelerator linkage, possibly. Oh, well, it had, yeah, it's got the bolts poking out, so, oops, so I'd say that was where the clutch master was. This tree is going to be part of the car soon. Alright, so that would be like a 170 Pursuit, I think. Pretty common in these. I checked on that other Falcon from the first video, and I found an engine number to help identify the car, and that number was down on the back of the block here. So I'm not getting into there with that. How's a coil? Yeah, it looks like a similar block, so I'd say there was an engine number up in there. But that was to pretty much identify that car. I mean, I know what this one is. It's a part of the bumper down in here. So that's the driver's corner. And it goes under there as a thin little piece of metal. So there may be another corner over there. There's something here. Yeah, bent up. Oh, right, okay. This corner of the bumper's attached. The rest of it's bent around. And there's the other side. This part looks okay. All right, that's got a screw still in there, so that's not broken. Oh, that is broken. Well, that is no good after all. So, I thought we had a good part there, but okay, there's nothing on this one. Oops. All right, I'm going to check on the corner of that bumper. And that's it, just eaten out under the bottom there. There's probably a manual gearbox under there as well. It's the breather. Oh, the water pump still turns. That's crazy. Look at that. Interesting. All right, up the back here is a tailgate. And I'm just curious about the back here, if there's a mechanism in there or not. Because at this time I'm guessing it's a ute. No, it's a wagon. Because there's part of the window winder which still moves. Alrighty, not really much else to see here. Oh, look at that. Way down in here. Okay. Way down in here is the rear taillight. There's nothing else here. Completely rusted away. So the roof must have rusted off and probably collapsed in. But there, in the mud, as solid as is the aluminium taillight assembly. I'm going to look for the other one now. See if it's way down. Oh, maybe not. That's a bit much. Oh, there's a bit of body. Comes all the way back. And yeah, that's it. Bit of the rear quarter. Yeah, I can see the window winder. Place where the window winder went in. Alright, who knows what else is under there? I reckon it's a gearbox right about there. There's a steering column. Oh, here, there's the lever. Hope you can see this good enough. It's a bit, just a bit shady. Wow, I wonder if we've got a dashboard. Or am I just going to cut myself again? Alright, I best not go any further. It's all for nothing, I think. Welcome back to what should be part 2 of Scribbly Gum's bike park rusty wrecks. Over in there somewhere, past those big gum trees, is the track. And when you slowly ride along the track, standing up on the pedals, looking left and right very slowly, you'll find sometimes what looks like a big pile of sticks. And that's what it is most of the time, but sometimes it's a car. Now, I don't know what this is. I just got here, I've just set up. So we'll go through this one together. There should be a lot of clues on this to tell us what it is. It's a style side ute. Okay, the diff's gone. Wow, very rusty as usual. I don't know if this one was burnt. I forget sometimes when I see the condition of some cars that, yeah, I have to realise that sometimes they've been burnt and that everything was pretty much destroyed. This is a bit of, I can't really tell, this is a bit of both, I think, maybe. Whoa, this has not been touched in a long time. I'll just get around, I'll just make myself a little entryway in here. Four-cylinder engine with, it's got a side plate on there. I've looked through that steering wheel in there. See, there's burnt wiring too, so this has been partially burnt. That looks like a Toyota steering wheel. I'll get a better look at that. This is probably early 70s Toyota. That's a Toyota symbol, that one, I know that. So there we are, it's a Toyota. Oh, there's something there. It's probably a mudguard I'm standing on. It's had a few parts taken. It's had the radiator taken and probably the bumper. There's no bumper here. Front wheel is just a 5-stud. This isn't one of the cars that I'd seen before. The other cars, the main reason I first came in here was years ago when I went for a bike ride with a friend. We rode past, I forget what that name is already of that track. It goes up to the power track, and then this one back down on the other side is Rising Main. Magic? Is that Magic? Maybe. But when I came through that time, there were a couple of Holdens. And even when you rode around, you could look back up and you could still see them. There was a couple in there. And I always thought, I'll check those out one day, but that one day is about 8 years later. And I think they're gone. Unless, of course, they rusted completely down to where you can't see them. But I'm not sure. So this is what you have to do to find anything at all. I'll get in there and have a look at that steering wheel. It's got some 80s pinstriping on there. Pretty ordinary, I think. All right, what can I do here? I'll just make a little bit of room. Okay, the roof came off. That's a Toyota. I don't know if there's an emblem there. I don't know if I can, yes, I can move this. Yeah, there's a T on there. That's a dead giveaway, that Toyota gear lever. Yeah, partly burnt. Yeah, it wasn't completely burnt. Maybe a bushfire got it after, because the doors still have paint. Yeah, a car fire would have completely burnt all that out. So I think that's just a bit of a bushfire that singed it a little bit. There's your heater. Yeah, wiper motor. And the colour is, it looks to be that orangey colour. It's like a burnt orange, I think. Not burnt by fire, but that burnt orange colour. Okay, I'd like to, it's got the tail shaft and everything in there, so nothing's good for parts. There's really nothing left here. I'll just put this back how I found it. But this, oh, it's a drum brake front, okay. Look at that thing there, that's going back to drums. So this could be earlier 70s than I thought. I just want to put that door into position. I found the mudguard and I stood the door up and I noticed this style line that runs up like that. That'll help identify this one. So will that door handle, the steering wheel as well. All right, it was around about this time, I may have already explained, that the cockatoos just ruined the rest of the video. I continued because sometimes an aeroplane or a car or a motorbike goes by, and if you keep stopping all the time, you just waste so much time, and most of the time they don't have a great effect or a bad effect on your video, but those cockatoos were something else. Okay, I'll end this one here. I just had a quick look and noticed that this engine has the very old style of filter. It's not a spin-on filter. It's one of those old, a cartridge filter, I think it is. So that's an old-fashioned engine. And the starter motor's still down in there too, so Yeah, they didn't take too much from this one. I think somebody needed a diff, and most other parts have just gone begging. So alternator's gone, radiator's gone. But yeah, that was a fairly complete car left to rust like this. Okay, I still think this place has potential. I think that's 6 cars I found without too much trouble. I reckon I could find another 3. I think I'll keep this place in mind, and I think I'll just select a few sections and go for a walk one day and see what I can come up with. It's all right. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.